Hello everybody and welcome to my video, Getting Tidier. I hope you're all well. So this video was taken on Thursday. It was taken just sort of late afternoon before my dad came round to collect my daughter from school with me. So the day was busy to say the least. I've ended up slotting a couple of extra meetings into my diary. Just because some of my learners aren't where they need to be. And I do sometimes think that I'm kind of putting in more effort than what some of those people are. So I need to be conscious of that. So I started the morning with an additional meeting. So I started really early because the person hadn't done their actions, they needed further support, and because I'm going on leave. So they needed some extra help really, but the appointment wouldn't have been needed had they have done the actions that they were meant to do. And I'm quite to the point to them. I did say to them, like one of them, I'm now reporting them as being red in terms of progress. I then had a couple of other meetings with my other job, and then I did a mock for endpoint assessment for one of my learners, but again, because she wasn't fully prepared, I've had to book another one, squeeze another one in. There's just a couple of learners though that just haven't, they're just not prepared in the way they should be. So they're ones that I took over from somebody else. So I think it's much harder when you take over what someone else has been doing, someone else's kind of what they've outlined as being acceptable, etc., etc. I think, some of what I've done is like, there were a couple of situations where I offered to have a meeting with somebody like on my day off. I don't work on Mondays, as you know. And then like for the next meeting, they needed to squeeze in where they were going to get extra support from me. And I said, oh, what about Friday? And Friday is when I do my other job. So I was already kind of making allowances and kind of slotting them in extra. And they said, oh no, that's my day off. And I was left sort of thinking, well, I've helped. I didn't say this, obviously, but I was thinking, I've helped you on my day off, but you won't change your own day off, and it's your qualification. There was another example, like for Easter, I'm going away to Holland for part of the Easter holidays, and then I'm back home. And I was trying to think how I might be able to help the learner, because she's on holiday, and then she comes home, and she's got the whole endpoint assessment day, the day after a holiday. And I thought she was away for the whole time. And then she said to me earlier in the week, oh, well, I'm only in Budapest for a week and then I'm at home. And I was thinking, right, so like I'm trying to squeeze in loads of appointments for you and help you out. But actually, for you, this is your qualification and you're at home. So you could actually do work to do with your qualification while you're on holiday. I just think I need to be wary of how much I help and support people. There is a limit, particularly as if they're not doing it themselves. Also, I don't know whether I said to you the other day, my manager has asked me to take on some more business learners. I feel like I'm already juggling quite a lot. I've got 4 that are about to go through for endpoint assessment. So I really want to get those through, 2 which are difficult. And then before I think about taking any more on, but she said, I haven't really got anyone else to give them to. I need to give them to you. And I came away and thought, well, I've got another job which has got like quite a lot of responsibility across the organisation, and I'm juggling this. Some days I've worked day and night. And I know this is a really, really busy period because a few of you have written, you do too much, you spread yourself thinly, like Carolyn said that a couple of times. And I really appreciate people that don't know me that well, who have only met me recently on here, being so kind. And you're right. So, it's really, really busy because of Easter. To be honest, that's why, because I've got nearly 3 weeks off. I'm having to squash in everything before I go and then loads of appointments when I get back. But I'm making a point to book things into my diary so to relax. They did make me laugh though, because I've put a couple of all-day appointments on days that I don't want to work. Because one of my job, I'd completely choose my hours. So for that job, I decided just to block book some Tuesdays. And then when I needed to book in a meeting with my manager, I ended up booking in one of the windows that I'd block booked. I thought I've got to make a point of not doing that. But the thing is, just my diary's just like absolutely crazy. At the moment, there's nowhere for any appointments until like the middle of May. And then like I got an email from my manager, can you meet this new learner? And you think, well, really, I need to be able to book that in within the next 2 weeks. But I have to say, I've got no appointments until end of May. But we are where we are. So you could see in this video that there was like quite a lot of food that I just needed to scrape into the food bags. Unfortunately, the night before, my husband had cooked rice and probably done double the amount that was needed. So I did say to him, really, we need to weigh that out so we just don't have the waste. It's the brown rice, you know, the one that expands quite a lot. So when you pour it into the saucepan, it looks like you need more than what you do. So it ends up being far too much waste. You'd also see in this video, my dad comes round and he's brought me a mandolin, which, you know, I get quite excited about in the video. I chopped the video so you didn't see me like trying to play a tune on it. But I'm quite excited about that. He said it was going to the charity. So, you know, he has been sorting out this house, his partner's mum who sadly passed away. So, you know, a number of you know he's brought me loads of things round, which is very kind. But there's also like, I don't really have that much space in my house for stuff. But he bought me a mandolin. Doesn't have all the strings, but I was quite excited about that and had a little play. So maybe for my birthday's the end of May, so maybe I might ask people to get me a set of mandolin strings, and then I will put the strings on, because I'll know how to do that, because it's not that different to a violin, and tune it, and then maybe see if I can learn. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? He also offered me this like sort of cream jumper, which looked brand new. It's too small for me, but it might be okay for my daughter. She has to wear cream at certain services when she sings in the choir. And also he bought this lovely jacket, you know, really good quality jacket, but it was too small for me and far too big for my daughter, so I did say no to that. Also, I've been sorting out more mugs for the Girl Guides. I've had so many. My aim was to get 80 to 100. I think I've got about 150 to 200. Although now, where they are in storage, can you believe the scouts complained and said that that was blocking a fire exit? Well, there's no way you'd go up a little rickety staircase and across the cupboard to get out for a fire escape when there's 4 fire escapes in the actual church hall. So I just feel like they're being awkward, to be honest. Or they just don't understand fire regulations, which is probably more to the point. So I'm sort of looking into that at the moment. And also in this video, a number of you have asked, oh, please can we see some of the bags of what's going out? Now, I've taken some video of some of the bags so you can see all the things that my husband took to the charity shop today, which I'm really pleased about. I don't lay out all the items like they do in Stacey Solomon's programme because I don't want to regret getting rid of things. So sometimes I'll think about certain things I've got rid of and start thinking, oh, I should have kept them. I should have kept them in storage. Maybe I still need them. Maybe I still want them. So I don't like to remind myself of what's in the bags. Once I've decided the bag something's been put in the bag to go, I just like to put it in the bag and get rid of it and never see it again. That's also partly why I don't really like giving my daughter's clothes to people that I know. Sometimes people have been really kind and taken photographs of their children in my daughter's clothes, like thinking, oh, that pleases me. But actually that doesn't. I just look at the picture and think, oh, that lovely dress that she had when she was 3. Oh, I wish I hadn't got rid of it now. I could have kept it in case she ever has a daughter. So for that reason, quite a lot of the things, sort of things that are more sentimental, I'd much rather give to a charity shop and then I'll never see them again. So I know that I'm probably really odd and strange, but I also think some of you probably will understand and relate to what I'm saying. The other thing is I've worked out how to change the brightness on my videos. So this video should have actually been really dark, but I changed the brightness so you can see it much clearer. So after I did all the food and put the food in the food bin, I then checked the washing. So there you can see I'm actually getting that jumper out and asking my dad to smell whether it smells of washing powder or damp. I was ill a couple of years ago, just with some horrible flu, lurg, etc., etc. I didn't do a COVID test or anything like that. I just kept well away from people, so there was no risk of passing it on. But my symptoms did match COVID. And then I lost my smell and taste, and everything tasted of metal. And then it came back a little bit. And then I got another lurg, which again, we didn't test. We just kept away from everybody, so we didn't pass anything on. But it matched all the symptoms of the Delta virus that was about at the time. And so my smell and taste had started coming back. And then, yeah, it was all a bit weird. It just all went again. And like still now, so we're probably 2 years on, aren't we? Some of my perfume smells off. And I have to say to my husband, like, does this perfume smell normal? Because to me, it smells off. Eggs still taste funny. There's certain things that still smell and taste funny. And one of the things that I cannot smell is if that washing, because that's been in the washing machine for a day, I can't tell whether it has that horrible damp smell or whether it smells of washing powder. So I just said to my dad, can you smell this top? And he went, yeah, it smells of washing powder. So I said, okay, great. So I knew that I could then get everything out and hang everything up. So I stood sort of chatting to my dad for a while I was doing sort of chores and things, which was nice. And then my dad came with me to pick up my daughter from school. So we've had a funny few days and my daughter's still got this lingering cough. Monday she wasn't well and I had to pick her up early from school because we thought that she was having an allergic reaction. And then this cough sort of comes and goes. Thankfully, she's not coughing through the night, so we are all being able to sleep, which just makes a massive difference to, you know, working through the day, really. And then today's Friday that I'm now recording this voiceover. And this morning I had a meeting with a chairman of day services for older people. So they have this day centre on Tuesdays. For people who are aged, well, I think the youngest person is only 60 and then the oldest person is 95. Some people have got dementia and they provide entertainment, a nice, you know, proper home cooked dinner, and they also sort the transport out for people that don't have their own transport. And I went along just to talk to him about his continuity arrangements. So everything is very, very dependent upon him. So if he was unwell, he was ill, he'd broken his leg last week, whatever, he's on holiday, it's almost like the whole service would end up stopping. So the meeting was all about business continuity and what has he got in place and what could he put in place to ensure the continuity of the service in the event of the kitchen being out of action, him being out of action, the building not being able to be used. So we talked about quite a lot. And then after that, my husband said, oh, what time do you finish? Do you fancy meeting in the city for lunch? That was really nice because we've not done anything like that for quite some time. So I drove into the sort of closest city to where we live and had something to eat. And then I came home and have continued working. So this is now being recorded at the end of my lunch break. So I'm pleased. Somebody the other day said to me, I think it was Pam, said, oh, it's so nice how quickly you were able to get the kitchen back to normal again. So that really, really pleased me because she's right. You know, it used to take me so long to get the kitchen back to normal or back to a tidy position. But because of now all the cupboards and how everything's sorted out so much more, I can get it tidy so much quicker. I really liked what Nancy said. If you don't love it or use it, donate it. And I thought, really, that makes great sense. So when I pick something up, if I'm not that keen on it, or if I don't use it and I'm not that keen, I need to get rid of it. Also, a couple of you have commented about me mentioning about videos and pictures of when we first bought the house. So I will dig some pictures out and show you. So Vixie said, yes, it would be good to see the pictures of our home when we first bought it. And also asked about the rug in the lounge. Yes, that is a vintage rug. in my lounge. That rug was there when we first bought the house. I had two really nice rugs. One of them, unfortunately, was really past its best. I think that one was about 1950s. I think the one in the lounge is 1940s or 1950s, and I really like it. That has got some wear in places, and part of it is a little bit frayed, but I really like the design. So, and I think that looks nice in my lounge, so I kept it. It was quite funny with the things that were left. We had a gas washing machine. Have you ever heard of anyone having a gas washing machine? So that was in the kitchen. We had a couple of wardrobes. One wardrobe was so thin that you couldn't actually get the width of a hook, a clothes hook in there, so you couldn't actually hang anything. You had to hang things flat to the back of the wardrobe, so that was a bit useless. We also had a bed that was sprung with like metal springs and had a horsehair mattress. So there were, but I didn't make a fuss about the things that were left because there were some things that I really wanted. I also wanted these lovely chairs. But the person who was doing all the sale and everything for the old lady who'd moved into sheltered accommodation, she decided that she wanted the chairs, so it's disappeared. Also, this lovely box from the man who fought in the Boer War, and he had a trunk, and the next door neighbour took that as well. However, about 4 years ago, the next door neighbour said, "Oh, you know those old chairs you wanted? Did you still want them?" And I said, "Oh, yes, please. I'd love them." He said, "Oh, well," he said, "they've just been sitting in our shed. You might as well have them." Well, I know what they did. They checked to see if the chairs were worth anything. And when they found that they weren't really worth that much, they then gave them to me. But because they'd stored them in the shed, like mice had eaten away at the seats, they'd got nests in the seats, and they were in a really bad way. So I took them to be upholstered in that fabric to match with my dining room curtains. And I love the fact that the lady and man, that for the first people that lived in our house, they came up from London. The man was a retired banker in London. I realised that I started talking too much about them, and time's gone on and I'm nearly at the end of the video. So sorry if I went on a bit too much. I need to show you the bags that I'm getting rid of, because a couple of you have asked to see what I'm getting rid of. So there's a bit of a mix here. Leaflets there that I need to put in the recycling bin and bills that I need to pay. So we've got a bag there for the charity shop, that white bag for the charity shop, an Easter bag for the charity shop. That's currently the state of the haul. I've got 3 bags that need to go to my daughter's teacher. So thank you very much for watching my video. I really very much appreciate your support, your guidance, your help, your encouragement, all the comments to motivate me. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I shall see you in the next video.